Verbs of motion today. How to say выйти, зайти, перейти, how to use it all. Today we're working on a text which would be showing how to use those forms in different situations. Before we start, I'm giving you 3 tips that you should know about the verbs in Russian, and then we go through this text. I will read it for you and then we will discuss those forms. So let's get started. First of all, I need you to understand that in Russian it's really important to distinguish between the imperfective and perfective forms of the word, right? Совершенный, несовершенный вид. I think it can be kind of similar to some forms in English as well, because imperfective forms show us that action endures for a while, or it has some, like it can be repeated regularly. On the other hand, the perfective form of the verb shows us the result of the action, so that the action is completed or will be completed or was completed in the past. So this is the pillar 1 for today, perfective, imperfective forms. And it's important that those 2 forms, like for example, прийти или приходить, they are totally different, so it's not the same verb and it's going to be changing differently. Then second point is that normally when we're talking about well, like if we want to say that to do something, we need to do A, B or C. In this case we are using special word чтобы in Russian, and then always we're using the perfective form of the verb. So, чтобы plus совершенный вид. For example, чтобы дойти до школы, мне нужно 10 минут. Чтобы дойти, что сделать? It's a perfective form, совершенный вид is just a simple rule to remember. And of course, some prefixes. I know that they get very hard. They are really hard for foreigners, but if you speak really good English, you would understand that for us, those phrasal verbs in English can be similar to our prefixes, and we struggle as much as you. So what I want to say is that there can be some parallel structures that we can remember and be using those prefixes easier. So I'm putting on the screen some of them. So for example, the prefix v is in, so I'm just like naming some associations in English, right? Вы is out, до as far as to reach something, за to drop in, stop by, об around, от away, пере across, под approach, при arrival, про through pass, с down from, у from. So this is just some of the examples that we can be using. And as well, one small tip that for 2 verbs, идти, ходить, to walk, and ехать, ездить, to, well, how to say, to drive a car, so to the same verb, to move, but using a special kind of transport, like right, when we're using transport. So идти, this verb means that we are going in one direction, from point A to point B. We're just going there once, right? The same with the word ехать. Ехать is to go from one point to another point, but like by car or by bicycle, with like using some kind of transport. And again, like we're going there once. For example, я еду в отпуск, I'm going for a vacation. And I'm going there once, so I'm saying я еду в отпуск завтра, for example, would be good. And the second form is ходить, ездить. In this case, it's also like all those forms now are of the what? Идти, что делать, of the imperfective form, but In first case, it was like one single action, and ходить would mean that we do it several times, so we do it for real regularly. Ходить в школу. Go to school, so we go to school every day, back and forth, so we do it several times. Ездить в отпуск каждый год. To go to vacation every year. So, in this case, we say я езжу в отпуск каждый год или каждое лето. Alright, so now we are ready for the text. First, I'm gonna read it all for you. You just follow it and try to understand which kind of words you already know. And then we will be working on the verbs. Когда я выходил из дома, ну, я буду рассказывать про себя, выходила, feminine, right? Когда я выходила из дома в понедельник, я поняла, что мой муж забыл дома ключи и не сможет зайти обратно. Мне уже надо было идти, и я решила заехать к нему на работу, чтобы передать ключ. Но до его работы было не так просто добраться. Я проехала на машине 10 минут и поняла, что не могу найти парковку. Так я ездила туда-обратно еще 5 минут, пытаясь найти место. Наконец-то место нашлось, и я вышла из машины. Когда я выходила, поняла, что давно не ездила к мужу на работу, и мне понадобится Google карта. Чтобы дойти до его работы, мне надо было зайти во двор, пройти вдоль 3 домов, перейти дорогу и подойти к самому высокому зданию. Когда я подходила к нему, я набрала своему мужу, чтобы он спустился вниз и встретил меня. Я подождала минуту у входа и хотела уже заходить, но тут он вышел из двери и обнял меня. Я сказала: «Я опаздываю, мне надо бежать». А он предложил сходить куда-нибудь вечером, чтобы отблагодарить меня. Perfect. So there are 4 little parts of this text that we're going to be working on, and I'm going to be showing you those verbs. We're going to discuss whether it's imperfective or perfective, and then we're going to translate it all to understand the sense and the meaning of those little verbs. Perfect. So we started with the part 1. Когда я выходила из дома в понедельник. When I was leaving my apartment on Monday. Right? So выходила is the imperfective form, несовершенный вид. And that shows us the process, right? So the translation is when I was leaving my apartment. And actually in English it already shows us that it's like a long action, and in the process of leaving something happened. As well, like for example, when we Russian study English, we use this interrupted action, right? So for example, we have this past continuous, and then the past simple interrupts the long action and something happens, right? Same in English, like same in Russian, but in our case it's going to be imperfective form interrupted by perfective form, that something happens. And here is a perfect example for that. Когда я выходила из дома, I was leaving the house, я поняла, что мой муж забыл дома ключи. I realized that my husband had forgotten the keys at home. Я поняла. I realized. Понять. The word понять. Я поняла. It's a perfective form, совершенный вид. Я поняла, что мой муж забыл дома ключи и не сможет зайти обратно. And he will not be able to enter back home. Important to notice that я поняла, что мой муж забыл дома ключи. In Russian, the order of the words is not that important, the order of the actions, because in English we would use what? We would use past perfect to show that he had forgotten the keys before, like current moment, that we were like finding this out, right? In Russian we just say я поняла, что он забыл, both in simple past kind of thing. Then не сможет зайти обратно. Не сможет зайти. Both parts of this little verb, like two verbs, are showing us that in the future he will not be able to complete this action. He will not be able to enter back home. So we use не сможет зайти. Right? So perfective form. Мне уже надо было идти. Мне уже надо было идти. It's very something special that we say in Russian, right? It's not that I had to go, as we say in English. So the translation is I already had to leave. But in Russian we use this like form where something happens to us. So мне надо было идти. Несовершенный вид, imperfective form. Надо было, so I'm describing the situation, and мне надо было идти, so in this moment I needed to leave already, right? It describes the situation. And я решила заехать к нему на работу, чтобы передать ключ. And I decided to stop by his office to pass him the case. Я решила заехать к нему на работу. Very important that we have a prefix за, right? And it shows us that we just drop by or drop in. I don't know how to say it correctly in English, but like we just pass to his office for a while and give him the case and go somewhere else, right? To our work. So, заехать к нему на работу, чтобы передать ключ. Передать as well. It's important to show that the action should be completed and we say it in a perfective form. Совершенный вид. Perfect. Part number 2. This is a smaller one. No, it's actually longer. Но до его работы было не так просто добраться. But it was not that easy to reach his office. Но до его работы было не так просто добраться. Добраться. To reach some place. Normally it shows us that there are some difficulties to reach this place or apartment or office. So добраться can be like neutral and can show us that there were some difficulties with getting there. So in this case, yes, it was not that easy to get there. Добраться is a form of a complete action again. So we use the perfective form. Добраться. Я проехала на машине 10 минут. I drove for 10 minutes, right? Я проехала. So it shows us the result that I've been driving for 10 minutes. I've been driving for 10 minutes. Я проехала на машине 10 минут. И поняла. After that, like the next section would be that I realized и поняла, что не могу найти парковку. Поняла is a perfective form. I realized, я поняла, что не могу найти парковку. And then that I cannot find parking. So I realized that I could not find parking. And that means that already this action describes our situation again. So we use the imperfective form. Я поняла, perfective, что не могу, already for a while, right? So I'm driving here and there. And I realized that I cannot find this parking. And we're using the imperfective form. Не могу найти парковку. Так, я ездила туда-обратно еще 5 минут. So I was going like this back and forth for 5 more minutes. Я ездила туда-обратно еще 5 минут. Imperfective form. So I was going, I'm again describing the situation. Пытаясь найти место. Trying to find a place. Пытаясь найти место. Найти. Here we need a result again, so we need to find this place. This is why we use the perfective form. Найти что-то. To find. To have found, if you want. Right, наконец-то что случилось? Наконец-то место нашлось. It's a funny phrase again, that place was found by itself, how to say it. So, место нашлось, finally. Finally, I could find a spot. И я вышла из машины. Again, two perfective actions. I could find a place and I went out of the car. Then, когда я выходила, я поняла, что давно не ездила к мужу на работу. When I was going out of the car, I realized that I hadn't been going to his office for a while, и мне понадобится Google карта, and that I would need Google Maps. What's hard here? Я выходила, я поняла, complete action, что давно не ездила. Не ездила is imperfective form. That shows us that we could be going there several times. Не ездила. It doesn't matter if we arrive or not. It just shows us that we have this direction and we go there from time to time. So, давно не ездила, и мне понадобится Google карта. I will need Google Maps in perfective form. Ага, чтобы дойти до его работы, to reach his office, мне надо было зайти во двор. I had to go into the yard. Зайти во двор. Зайти shows that we go inside. Пройти вдоль 3 домов. Again, perfective form. To walk along 3 houses. Перейти дорогу. To cross the road. Пере, remember the prefix, to cross. Перейти дорогу. И подойти к самому высокому зданию. And to walk up to the tallest building. All in perfective forms. Когда я подходила к нему, imperfective form, when I was approaching this house, this building, I called my husband. Я набрала своему мужу, чтобы он спустился вниз и встретил меня. So when I was approaching the house, I called him so that he could go down and walk down and meet me there. Those two are again in the perfective form. Perfect. And the final part, я подождала минуту у входа. So, I waited for a minute next to the entrance. Perfective again. И хотела уже заходить. And already wanted to enter. Заходить. And like I was there, again describing the situation, хотела уже заходить. So I was like thinking that I should be maybe walking inside. Но тут он вышел, perfective, из двери и обнял меня. But he went out, he came out and hugged me, right? Again, we understand that he just, he came out and hugged me, perfective form. And I said, я сказала, я опаздываю, мне надо бежать. I will be late, I have to run. Да? So, я опаздываю. We're describing the situations. Hey, I'm being late. Again, imperfective form. Мне надо бежать. А он предложил сходить куда-нибудь вечером. He offered to go somewhere this night, чтобы отблагодарить меня. So that he could thank me. He offered to go somewhere, again, perfective form, so that he could thank me. Again, we need this perfective form. Oh, I don't know. There are so many prefixes that we used here, and I hope this situation will show you that in context we are playing those forms here and there, because in English we do it as well. So when we describe the situation, we suddenly start using the imperfective forms, or like continuous forms. This is what they're called. And when we need to show that we are reaching somewhere, or we complete some actions, so we need to do that, to have done something by some moment, then we're using the perfective form. But my goal today was to actually show you how to use those prefixes and verbs of motion, so that dependently on the context, so whether we have to go somewhere once or several times, or we're like doing it, I don't know, once a year, so it all shows us those small details that finally determine the form of the verb that we are using, right? So perfective, imperfective. Чтобы сходить, чтобы we use with the perfective form again, and those prefixes, maybe you should learn them by heart to understand, like those, again, parallel structures in English. Super happy to have helped you today. Next lesson is going to be a different topic. I'm trying to play with those topics a bit, so that we do grammar, then pronunciation, then some vocabulary. So today was grammar. I hope it was useful. Thumbs up and follow my channel not to miss anything. See you next week.